for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D! Tuesday.
Right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. That's D-Mac, Darren McCarty. We are back in effect. We are in the house. D-Mac, what's good, man?
All good, Neil. Good golf weekend, as you can see. Brand new trophy right there. Shout out to Tyler Curtis. Anybody who knows Tyler works for Lady Jane's and stuff like this, and his Beauty of Life in honor of his father's 8th annual. So Beth put a good team together, a bunch of ringers, and we won the tournament. So there's a trophy there. And yesterday played the Cardinal in Calvin Johnson's event, which was a lot of fun. Played with the assistant pro. One of the guys from Prestwick, Drew, and another kid from Meadowbrook, Baker Stevenson. Man, I have not been as impressed on a golf course by someone as I was with him the other day. We ended up shooting 18 under, then gimmicks to 21 or whatever like that. But it was as easy going scramble, and as many as how many do I play a summer? Like 20?
A lot, yeah.
Right? Exactly.
I play a lot.
As
You play
easy.
a lot.
I think we use like 4 of my shots all day.
That just goes to show
We
you.
needed, but it was what a great day yesterday. And shout out to the Cardinals, shout out to Allie and her staff, and shout out to Calvin.
How's it
Calvin
looking?
brought him out.
How's it looking? They got a live event there coming up.
So
next
here's
month.
the thing, right? As they're putting up all the bleachers and all the different event areas all throughout there. So course was you could tell. So what they're gonna do is wait a week out and grow the rough to 4 to 5 inches and then just leave it. You could tell the greens were probably as slow, which isn't slow. They're only running like 11. They're gonna run them like 13. So it's such a good track. Anybody gets an opportunity. What they've done to the Cardinal out there in Plymouth and stuff like that.
Shout out.
Yeah, the whole Monarch and the whole property. They're doing things. And if you drive, I don't know if anybody's over in that area, but if you're driving off of Sheldon Road in the 5 mile, you can see the construction beside. They're putting in a brand new driving range, and they're at work right now. So, I mean, full engines go on that golf course.
We got Chase in the Sound Lounge as well. Chase, what up?
Hey, what up? I want to say a quick happy birthday to my good friend Casey. He's like the big sister I never had. Spent many years at Bob Evans with him.
Okay.
Waking up early and opening the store. So shout out Casey. Had a fun magic show at their house on Saturday.
Magic show, huh?
They had a magician come over for their birthday. Somebody hired them a magician. And we got to witness the magic of Cabranes. And it was
Shout out Cabranes.
Shout out Cabranes. You got to be a magician with a name like Cabranes.
Absolutely. Did he have like a number 19 jersey on? Because there was some magician stuff done by Steve Yzerman as well. Did he learn from Cabranes?
Maybe. I'm not sure. Cabranes is wearing, I think, like a...
Cabranes.
Yeah.
I think it was more of like a magic theme shirt. I don't know.
Did he have a sweater and glasses on?
No.
Was it velvet?
No, it was honestly Spencer. It kind of looked like some of your anime shirts a little bit. I feel like Cabranes was a a bit of an anime guy.
Shout out Cabranes.
Did he saw you in half?
No, but he saw the birthday
Hey,
girl in
yo.
half.
Okay,
Casey.
there you go.
Hey, yo.
Awesome though. Shout out, Casey. No doubt. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Casey.
Intern Simeon in the house.
What's going on?
What's up?
Not much. We already got a signing for you, D-Mac.
What do you got?
Stankoven's back to the Canes. 8 years, 48 mil.
Back to where?
Hurricanes.
Yeah, big day today in the hockey world. So you see all like we're talking about, and we will talk about what the Red Wings and stuff done. So noon, I expect, like Neil, this is the way the deals are already done. They just got to wait till they sound the opening bell.
Yeah.
Like on the stock market.
Wait
when
for
they
the
can
starter
announce it.
pistol.
I always say, if you're not watching here for the updates, but my favorite place to track it is tsn.ca.
Yeah.
That is true.
So they're
and it's Canadian,
on
so
it.
it's official.
That's true.
That's right.
On this Canada Day. Happy birthday.
It's Canada
Happy
Day?
birthday, Canada. Yeah, it is.
Shout out Canada.
Shout out Canada.
Absolutely.
I know things are a little rough right now.
8.
Hey,
But,
they'll get through it. The Great North, man.
148.
The Great North, yeah. I still like Canada. I don't care what anybody says.
I don't care what you say. Them calling themselves the True North in their Pledge of Allegiance.
It's a boss move.
The True North, strong and free.
That's badass.
And you can get Cuban cigars there,
That's true.
which I like.
You can go fuck around with the Eskimos in the Northern Territories.
You can do that if you want to. Yeah,
Your
that's
flavor,
not
man.
my scene.
It's your flavor.
Yeah, that's not my flavor.
You got 3 different territories you can play around with. None of it Yukon or the Northwest, baby.
There we go.
Spencer Raxter in the build.
Hello.
Hello, Spenny. How was Old Miami, man?
Old Miami was awesome. Shout out to everybody that hooked it up. Shout out to the White Claw Tigers Tour and Ben Johnson for putting us there. Shout out to Dina from Old Miami
Yes.
for having
That's
us
my
out.
girl.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's the best.
She gave me, there was a food truck across the street. They were doing burgers, and I went and got a burger. She recommended the cheese curd burger, so I was like, who am I to...
Who are you to say no?
Yeah, who am I to say no? So I got the cheese curd burger, and she gave me a sour pickle beer to pair with the burger. She was like...
And you were skeptical.
I was skeptical, for sure. I would say I am above average for liking of pickles based on an average human,
Yeah.
but...
What, about
Pause.
6, 7?
Yeah, probably like an 8, honestly.
okay,
I
all right.
like some pickles. But
Pause.
she said, like, this isn't something you would just drink on its own. Like, but to bring out, to enhance the flavors of the burger. And it was. She knows her stuff.
Those people do some magic. Speaking of Cabranes, those people do some magic stuff with food pairings.
Shout out Cabrera. Yeah, but shout out to the Old Miami. I was there back-to-back nights, actually. Like, I go to Old Miami all the time. I love that spot.
your scene.
Yeah, it's a great spot. I was there the night before. My boy put on a show with the Starlings. They were rocking out in the back. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun at the Old Miami pretty much all weekend.
That's awesome.
And I shot a 96 this weekend.
Saw that.
3rd straight round under 100. I'm telling you, D-Mac, my 5 and 6 iron, I am striping those things like
I
absolute
looked at your
darts.
card. You ran into a little trouble on the par 5.
I did, yeah. I got in the woods.
Snowman on the board or whatever, but you held it together.
It was the par because I have a 3 hybrid that I never hit, but I brought it out because I was like 220 out from the hole, and I roped it, but it went into the woods, so I had to punch out from the woods and get over there.
Yeah.
But,
What happens?
Yeah.
I played at Indianwood yesterday, the old course.
Oh, yeah. How was that?
Those greens were diabolical.
Yeah.
No,
They
D-Mac,
can
like diabolical
There's
yesterday.
that's as Indianwood, if you haven't had a chance to play that in Lake Orion, and the old course is the closest thing. And there's a couple, but to what English, Scottish, Irish golf. Like especially if the wind's up or whatever, but when you get to the greens, because the green structures in the front to back and the undulation,
It was a
and
monster.
it's different than say the undulation at like Oakland Hills and stuff like that. It just plays like a European course.
No, it is. It was tough, man. It was tough.
And before we get off, because we were down at the Old Miami before the game,
Yes.
and then you and I and Cristiano, your
Yes.
son, went to watch the Tarek Skubal. What do you want to call that? Just
Dominance.
Sunday night baseball. All eyes on it, and he just said from pitch 1, "Give me this ball, and I'm just put on a show." Like, dude, I was laughing. 7 straight Ks. The first 8 out of 9 hitters struck out.
He goes to a 3-ball count and gets pissed off.
Yeah.
Like, you can see it.
Yeah, and he got squeezed on a few.
Yes,
He did get squeezed on
Lou,
a few.
you were squeezed him a little bit. You heard me from way out in right field.
Yeah.
I was yelling at you.
But no, it was absolutely great. Speaking of that, Detroit LFC was awesome seeing you guys Sunday at the Tigers game. Appreciate everybody that came out.
Yeah, everybody who said hi. We love that.
Yeah, ran into my guy G at the Rocket Mortgage. Said
Shout
he
out
loves the
G.
show, all of it.
Is it Chris, the security dude?
Yep.
And shout out to Chaz.
Yeah.
Chaz just missed you guys. He said BDE is his favorite show. Heavyweights is his second. He drove to Old Miami from Grand Rapids just to come see the show.
Yeah. Just to hang out.
That's awesome.
So shout out to Chaz.
Yeah, Chaz, you're the guy
Shout
too,
out,
man.
Chaz.
No, it was the community out there was awesome. But D-Mac, I did want to talk about, and I know it's kind of old news because it was Sunday Night Baseball, but we're here now. And yes, guys,
Whoa, blasphemy.
we're
Do not
get-
blasphemize Sunday night baseball.
Oh, I'm not. We're gonna get to everything because there's a lot to get to. Oh, by the way, it's July 1st.
Shout out.
It's football now. It's football. Football's here. There's a game.
I don't know, Neil.
In 3.5 weeks.
I'm personally locked into this pool party I'm having on Friday, so I can't even think about football right now.
Well, too bad. because we're doing it.
I'm going
We're
to get a nice pump in at Planet Fitness before I get over there.
4 down every day.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we are doing that.
4 down every day.
Okay.
So then that's intern Simeon's on it. He's got them cooked. So we're doing them, and we're definitely going to do it. But I do want to, guys, I had a couple epiphanies at the Tiger game. And it's been a minute since I saw a game like that. I was there. I brought my son. We had an extra ticket. Me, my buddy D-Mac, and my son at the game. Did the whole thing. Sat down, got in there for first pitch, sat down, watched the whole game.
I bet it was awesome. I bet you guys had a lot of fun.
We did have a lot of fun. We missed you, Spenny.
Yeah, I know.
But with that being said, had a couple of epiphanies. D-Mac had a hot dog. Oh. Great snap on the hot dog, he said.
God, that dog. Let's talk about the dog at the game. If you're not having a dog at Comerica Park.
Have to.
And I want to say this, too. Neil, did you slather that dog with the mustard?
No, that was a Cristiano production.
Cristiano Rule can absolutely slather a dog.
He can dress
every
a dog.
bite.
Yeah.
And it was snap, and it reminded me of, like we cooked it on the barbecue.
It reminded me of home.
Like they put every bite with, like, dude, anybody else have that great hot dog experience at the ballpark?
I had a good hot dog at the Turn.
Yeah, where? At Plumbrook?
Yeah, Plumbrook.
Okay, good.
Thick, girthy dog.
They're always good at the Turn.
That's the one mistake I made Sunday. No hot dog.
No hot dog?
I went hot dogless on Sunday. That was a bad call.
Yeah, I did go the nachos route. My son got nachos, and I had a pretzel. But anyway, though, I had my summer shandy.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome. The weather was awesome. Everything was off. Scooble was dealing.
8 strikeouts in 3 innings.
Dude, it was insane. And the juice in the building. And I'll say this. Downtown was as alive as I've ever seen it in a long time. And Sunday Night Baseball, D-Mac, I know you geek out on it. Typically, it's an attendance. It hurts attendance. Sunday night games do. But, man, you could move in the park. It was the juice in Detroit. You had the Rocket Mortgage during the day. You had the Sunday Night Baseball at night. It was awesome. Again, we always say it here on Woodward, but Detroit, if you don't know, like if you're national or whatever and you don't know, Detroit is like, it's not just back. It's not back. It's the same as your city.
It's here.
It's the same as your city that you think is a good city.
They got bodegas. I was literally walking home from some event at 1 in the morning. This place was open.
On the corner.
I got some whole wings and fried mushrooms at 1 in the morning. He was like, "We're open till 3." I was like, "Dude,
I thought there's that bodega just down front the Markets Wars behind the Second City or whatever, but it makes so much sense because you look at all like the residential, but everybody comes out and stuff like this. So one thing I wanted to say, you know what I love as far as that it's back or what it is? Tarek Skubal struck out the last guy, 13th strikeout in the seventh inning, right? And as he walked off in his reaction, he was telling us that it was over. And I watched, and it was sort of like the wave, but the appreciation to everybody that was focused in on him, and everybody sort of stand at the same time and give him a standing ovation, and him, sort of feeling it. And he tied his career high in Ks and all this stuff, and we were watching the pitch count because, early, I think it was like 51 through 4 or something. We were just, it was a conversation piece about needs an inning to get through or whatever, but just the roar and the ovation and whatever, you could feel it. And that's so as a former athlete in this city or whatever, when the fans do that, and it reminded me of Joe Louis Arena for the moments or whatever, but everybody, the appreciation. But that's what being a Detroit sports fan's all about, and
absolutely
appreciate, their stars. And you said it, Neil. You looked at me and you said it. It's probably not the smartest thing to give a guy $50 million, but if you're going to give anybody $50 million or 45, it's that guy because you look at the way that he just came out and he just look at this first Sunday night baseball game. It's the game of the week, all eyes on deck, and he just says, "Give me that ball."
Yeah,
come on, boys, and let's go. And then you look at Carps, which low key. Hit that home run early.
Yeah.
Legged that triple out probably, and they pulled him after that. Probably, not the best for his hammy, but guys are doing it.
We do have some inside information that yesterday Kerry Carpenter was walking perfectly fine in the morning from an unnamed source, but eyes on the ground. Kerry Carpenter was walking fine. No limp, no nothing like that, just yesterday.
Well, he left him in to run like at third, and he said he didn't want to bring him out to play in the outfield, that it would be a little irresponsible to do that. So that just kind of gives you a window into it.
And we do have a little bit of breaking news in the NBA. Persham Sharanya, free agent center Miles Turner has agreed to a 4-year, $107 million deal with the Milwaukee Bucks, plus a player option for year 4 in 28-29. A full 15% trade kicker, sources tell ESPN.
So he left Indiana.
Left Indiana to the Bucks.
And I was excited.
Staying in the division.
But he's still in the division.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
And look, guys, there's a ton to get to. There is today. Today's going to be one of those shows that cooks. Double G21 in the Super Chat. And if you want to skip the line, use the Super Chat. I can give you 13 reasons why you need to sign Scooble. For the love of God, pay the man. He pitched a master class on Sunday. Double G, when we come back, I do have something. I have the epiphany that I had. And I want to do that about Scooble. Then we're going to get into the Pistons stuff. Then we're going to get into the Red Wings stuff. Then we're going to get into the football stuff. Then we're going to get into the rest in peace stuff. And then it's going to be 2:30, I bet.
Probably.
All right, here we go, everybody. Let's do it. Let's talk about Buddy's Pizza. Yes, sir. Buddy's right there downtown, across the street from Comerica Park. As a matter of fact, they are right in the mix, and there's over 20 Buddy's locations, so there's one near you. How about this? Promo code 10meal when you order at buddyspizza.com. Save 10%. You can have that pizza for dinner tonight, and why would you not want to? All these pizza chains are like Detroit-style pizza. Who invented it? Buddy's invented it. They're the original Detroit-style pizza. Since 1946, they are Detroit. We've been talking about Detroit and the athletes and the fans and all that stuff. Buddy's Pizza's in that conversation because they've been doing it since 1946. The OG, everyone. They have great partnerships with Detroit partners as well. The Detroit Zoo, the Michigan Humane Society, all of it. They're a staple of Detroit just as much as anybody else. Buddy's Pizza, Detroit-style pizza, the original since 1946.
The boys of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us from 5 to 7 with the heavyweights at Second Best Bar in Detroit for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw, Easttown, and Van Johnson.
Tired of losing out on the car of your dreams? Bad credit? No credit? At the Feldman Chevrolet Freedom Sale, we say yes. Over 5,000 new Chevys to choose from, all priced to move with our best deals of the year. Get a 2025 Silverado for just $149 a month, or this 2026 Equinox for only $209 a month. When other dealers say no, Feldman Chevrolet says yes. Don't miss the Freedom Sale, going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
The rule here for Woodward merch, go to shop.woodwardsports.com. We talked about it. It's July 1st. So you know what that means. It's football time. You can get your Lions wearables on there. Get the Boot 'em Kids shirt. Those are still there. And yes, we're just past the halfway point of baseball, so get geared up when you go down to Comerica Park. The Red Wings are making some moves. The Pistons are making some moves. Rep your teams all at shop.woodwardsports.com. All right, DMAC, in here. We have to get it moving here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We have Chase, intern Simeon, Spencer Raxter. Yes, sir, Spencer. And we're going to be breaking in, dude. This is follow along. If you have ADHD, this will be a good show
Perfect show for you. And another tweet here by Shams. The Bucks found a creative path to waive and stretch Lillard, whose $113 million will be stretched over the next 5 seasons while leaving their future draft assets untouched. In a stunning turn of events, Miles Turner departs the Pacers to join the Bucks, and the Bucks waive Damian Lillard.
Which means they're not trading Giannis.
No.
You see, like, I shouldn't do this now. I have grown fatigued of people that, like, why aren't the Pistons making the moves that everybody else? Go make a splash. Go make a big move. Go trade for Giannis. They're not trading him. Good players don't get traded unless they're leaving anyway.
Yeah, unless there's collusion and you need to get the Lakers a superstar.
And then, like, Tell me all the big moves the Lakers are making. Oh, that's right. They're $11 million over the second apron. They can't trade future first. They can't do it. Salary has to match exactly. They can't do anything.
Houston is going to be fucking scary next year. I'll tell you that.
We'll see.
I might put some money on the Rockets to win the championship next season.
We will see, no doubt. D-Mac, what did you had a question from coming back?
No, it was the Damian Lillard thing.
Oh,
Like,
the
how
Lillard
does
thing.
how does that
They can take
how
that
does
money.
that play out that they waive him or whatever?
Yeah, so you have the option, and the Pistons did this with Dwayne Dedman, I think it was.
Yeah.
You can take the money.
Shout out to Dwayne Dedman, Pistons legend.
You can do this to one contract, and you can stretch it over 4 years, 5 years, whatever that number is. And so you can just eat it. It'll still count against your cap, but only, say it's 5 for 100, it's $20 million will count against the cap instead of a one-time $100 million dealio for Lillard. So that is the story there. Okay, real quick, in the Woodward Sports chat thread, Tammy Chin says, I'm watching NHL Network in the background as well. Ryan's reaction, I'm going to order a McGriddle in honor of Canada. Danny G, Canada is where I had my first legal beer.
There you go.
What up, though? You can get Cubans in America if you know the right people. Well, see what up, though, with the gunny? I would prefer to just walk into a cigar shop and be able to buy a Cuban cigar.
Yeah.
Makes it easier that way. You know what I'm saying? Detroit LFC in the super chat, like the stream, you bums. I don't share that sentiment. I mean, I kind of do.
Yeah, for sure.
The first half.
Robert Sloppy Toppenheimer with the super chat. He says, Little Caesars going broke. Pay Tarek Skubal, please.
Yes, and I real quick on that, we're going to get there. Dante 151 SGA just re-signed on the Supermax deal. 4 years, $285 million. The last year of that deal, he'll make $78 million. There will be an $80 million a year player in the NBA very, very soon.
Yeah, it's...
But no one watches and no one cares, right?
All right. That's what they say.
That's what they say. That's what they say. Danny G, Houston going to do all this and get bounced in round 2 of the playoffs. Phoenix Stardust, Houston's one of the most ghetto cities you'll visit. Ghetto and hot. And really big, too. Like, you can't...
Great strip clubs, though.
Yeah, but it's like a $40 Uber ride to get anywhere.
Never been to Texas.
Yeah, but it is humid.
Everything's bigger in Texas, Neil.
That is true. IT Hips, just hope the Red Wings don't make one mid-move. Yzerman needs to get this team to the playoffs in the centennial season, or he should be fired, period. I think that's a little aggressive.
Can't fire a monarchy.
They've got $17 million in cap space. Something's going to happen.
Everybody's, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? The one thing that I'm sort of interested to see if there's any weight to it is, like you just saw, the big sign and trade with Toronto and Vegas with Mitch Marner, going there and making the traded deal. Keandre Miller, defenseman in New York, rumors are it might be a sign and trade with the Wings. So
Love that.
Stevie's not done. I like what he's done already, right? And you got to understand, like, you're not in a position to make all these top moves. And I think it's like the Pistons and the Wings are sort of in the similar positions where it's not quite there to strike yet, unless the person out there is ready to strike. Like, what do you expect? Don't you expect more of movement from both Trajan Langdon and Steve Yzerman in the same sort of way to make this team better? Right? But it's not going to be splash better. I think splash better. I think he's already splashed better to adding John Gibson as your goaltender.
Yeah,
that's gonna, you have Gibson and Talbot, which I just saw Anaheim re-sign Billy Husso to 2 years. So Anaheim's got Mrazek and Husso.
Shout out Patty Verbeek.
Well, can we do it this way? Okay, let's set the ground rules of what a big move is. All right, here's the deal, guys. You got to get out of this space of your Madden trade machine is your, quote, big move. That's not the real world. And, like, guys have to be available.
Yep.
And, by the way, don't give me Mitch Marner was available. He was not available. That was always going to be the move. He was going to go to Vegas.
Robo.
He's not agreeing to that deal unless he's not going to Vegas. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's it. The Pistons are, the rumor is, I have no inside knowledge of this, like the Dennis Schroeder, Malik Monk thing.
Yeah.
That is along the similar lines of Mitch Marner.
Would love that.
Yeah. So those are the things. This This isn't your fantasy league for the 100th time, guys. This isn't your fantasy league in the first round of the draft or on your waiver wire, things like that. It's not your Madden trade machine. It's not your ESPN trade machine. It's the real world. And to back that up, DNC ENT, the Pacers offer Miles Turner 3 years, $60 million. The Bucks come in at 4 and $107 million. This was his market. How in TF is this possible? DNC ENT, what you're going to see here, what you're seeing in the NHL, what you're seeing in Major League Baseball, what you've seen in Major League Baseball, there is a class system in place where you have your mega dudes, your super maxes, and then everybody else is middle class. That's where we are now. NHL in particular, you are either Draisaitl or McDavid or Kachuk, or you are 8x8. You are $64 million for 8 years. Those are your two choices. That's the way that it works. A lot like our society. You know, there's only a couple choices, man. That's the way it is. But speaking of that, and real quick, I'll land the plane on this one. I brought up the fact that D-Mac and I were at the game. It was a great time. It reminded me of almost like being a kid at the park. It really did, man. I was into it, locked into every pitch, one stop short of keeping score. But with that being said, the juice in that park and watching Skubal work, and I know, like, I told D-Mac this, the Twins put out a Jim Leyland Sunday lineup in that game. The back third of that lineup was an embarrassment to Major League Baseball, much like the Twins are to me anyway, much like their stadium was for years with the plexiglass walls and the rocket ball off the turf and all that stuff. So with that being said, D-Mac, is it responsible to do $450 million for 10 years for Tarek Skubal or $500 million for 9 years, whatever iteration of that? Probably not. Is it going to end badly? Almost certainly it's going to end badly. But damn it, with what I saw there on Sunday, if you don't sign this guy, then what are we doing here? For real, what are we doing? Why do we bother? Why did we all go to the game? Why is Spencer doing watch parties at the old Miami? For real, if you do not sign Tarek Skubal, then what are we doing here? Figure it out. That's the best I can say. After what I saw in that park on Sunday night, there cannot be a world where Tarek Skubal's not on this team. There cannot be. Is it irresponsible? Probably. But all I know is I like that. I like what was going on at Comerica on Sunday Night Baseball on national TV and then going out to an establishment after the game and looking up at the TV. And it was 9 minutes on Tarek Skubal on SportsCenter. 9 minutes. And you guys see the price just went up, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
It just went up again, by the way. That was his national. And, like, look, I bet you around the country that baseball fans look at this Tigers team and say, how are they good?
And then they see that on Sunday
And then
night.
they saw Tarek Skubal for probably the first time. And then they said, oh, now I get it. The price just went up. And it's only going to go higher. So figure it out. That's all I can say. Figure it out. Because if we do not sign this man and keep him here long term and have him retire here, then why do we bother? Anybody, why do we bother?
Yeah, like, I think as long as you accept the fact that it's going to, it probably could end badly, but not for a minute.
Yeah.
Not for a while. And you're willing to accept that because with that piece right there, what we saw gets you even closer every time he's on the mound to winning a championship.
We saw it with Miguel Cabrera. That was the Miguel Cabrera thing. You have to have that, man.
Yeah.
You have to. And cost be damned. Consequences be damned.
And
this is part of owning a team, and if you want to be competitive, this is what you have to do. We are not in the business of letting the best pitcher in baseball. Hard stop. The back-to-back Cy Young loading pitcher in baseball, then you figure it out.
Here's the thing. Is Tarek Skubal one of these guys you are worried about Tommy John or you think's going to
He already had Tommy John.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you don't worry about. But I'm saying you look at what this guy's done with his body, Neil. The size of his legs,
Yeah.
standing on the mound that you can
Yeah.
see from right field, is different. So the way that he pitches, the way that he throws, the way that Spenny, thank you for that, because he's already been there.
Yeah.
So to me, it's more of a no-brainer.
And
And if you're worried about 8, 9, 10 years from now, What are we talking about?
And
It's that win now mentality.
And he's just getting better. I talked about a while ago, like a couple months, the beginning of the season, when he was really started busting that changeup off more and more. Like, they found that pitch for him like a couple of years ago. Like, that is a new thing that they added to his arsenal, and it's probably the best pitch in baseball.
Spenny, he's messing around with a knuckle curve now.
Yeah.
He throws it for fun.
He's gross. And when I talked about it yesterday on heavyweights a little bit, my favorite thing about Skubal, and I know Flannel hates it, but like literally there's no other way to explain it. Like the aura he has on the mound, just being
different.
Being a pit
dog.
bull up there, barking at people, barking after strikeouts, and once he gets a lead, once he gets a 2-run lead,
he takes it
and
personal.
he feels it in the zone, he is pumping fastballs, center cut, middle at 99 miles an hour. Like, go ahead, try to fucking hit this. And you can't, and you're not going to. And then the changeup breaks off away to right-handers, and the slider comes all the way in, all from the same angle, all from the same arm slot, all from the same arm speed. It's impossible to hit against.
So, again, there it is. That's all. That was my short little piece on it. I had an epiphany sitting at the game. In that environment, I want that. I want that all the time. Cost be damned. And if you don't do it, then why do we bother? That's my question.
Yeah.
For real. Why do we bother? That'll be a blow, man, to me. And, like, look, I've always said it. Tigers baseball is when they suck, when they stink, when they're one of the worst teams in baseball, I'm always locked in. And I'll still be locked in.
Yeah.
I will, because they're my team. And, what are you going to do? But it'll suck, and it'll be less than without them. So figure it out. That's it. That's my point. All right, let's take the break, and let's get into this. We got BlackRock coming up.
Yeah. New sponsor here on Woodward Sports. Let me tell you about BlackRock. Woodward Sports is turning up the heat with our new sizzling partner, BlackRock Bar and Grill, where you can get a steak on a stone served on a 755-degree volcanic rock. It's more than just a meal. It's an experience. Enjoy lunch starting at just $8.99. Rocking hours from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. and daily specials. Come hungry and rock your steak only at BlackRock Bar and Grill. Stay tuned. A summer giveaway is coming that actually rocks. Visit blackrock.com. And guys, a little secret if you don't know, the ladies love this place. BlackRock, I've got a girl loves BlackRock. It's perfect for a date night. It's perfect for a celebration. So make sure you go out there. You see all the locations on the screen: Heartland, Canton, Utica, Novi, Ann Arbor, Davidson. Go to BlackRockRestaurants.com to find a location near you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Chevrolet is Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer. They got 5 locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing. This month's specials, they got a 2025 Silverado 1500 Crew, only $149 per month, or a 2026 Equinox LT, $209 per month. Get to Feldman Chevrolet today. Scan the QR code on the screen to see their massive inventory.
All right, back at it. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. This portion of the show brought to you by Ben Johnson and Ben Johnson Law, benfights.com. We have Chase in the sound booth. Intern Simeon is here. Spencer Raxter. Just wrapping up this Skubal discussion. Sunday Night Baseball was electric, man. It took me back to like being a kid at the game and all that kind of stuff, and it was a ton of fun. And I sat there with my friend and my son, and I had a summer shandy, and I did my part. I got the pretzel. D-Mac, got the hot dog and the Pepsi. Like, he was in there.
So good.
It was, and so was Tarek Skubal. And like, look, I've come down to it now where it could be and probably will be irresponsible, but what are we doing? The Blue Jays gave Vlad Guerrero $500 million. You think that's going to end well? No.
That's what I'm saying.
That's where we are.
Right? You always knew the Miggy was going to end bad. This doesn't have to end bad with this guy. Like, he's a different beast. And yeah, you would think with age, but 2025, Neil, isn't with medicine and training and health and the way guys keep hearing himself pitch for the next 10 years isn't really anything.
Kerry Carpenter officially put on the 10-day injured list for the hamstring.
We need to fire our sources.
I'm fine with that. No, I mean, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, you got the All-Star game coming.
You got Vierling back. Give him some reps before the All-Star game. Give Kerry an extra 2 weeks off before the All-Star break. Perfect.
Totally cool.
That's a great point, Spenny.
Yeah.
Right? It's more of a blessing in disguise. Why? Your record, where you stand in your division, stuff like this, and the fact that Vierling's back. Now AJ doesn't have to mess with the lineup. He can just stick him out there and get him his at-bats, get him sort of help him get back up to speed. By the time Kerry's back, then hopefully Vierling's got whatever bats that he needs because he's been out for so long. But he's a pro. How long does it take a guy to come back? Like a professional hitter, right?
Yeah.
Which we're saying as we're watching it, just reminded me of Gleyber Torres. The other day, just watching him hit and stuff like this. But how long do you think it'll, like 10 days on a good road trip where Vierling's playing every day, get back into it? He should be ready to go.
He's a pro.
He'll be fine.
Is he not?
Wenzel Perez also on a tear. Him and Vierling and McKinstry. You got plenty of bodies to throw in right field or at DH. So
everything's cool.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of that, before I get into the people's comments in the chat, now the Minnesota Twins are closer to the White Sox than they are to the Tigers.
Shout out.
Tigers, 11.5 game lead.
Putting teams in the dumpster.
Other networks now are starting to jump onto this.
They did. I did see that in another network. I sent it to you.
Yeah, I know. That's weird.
Yeah.
I wonder where they got that from. But anyway, Spenny, 11.5 up, going to the All-Star break. It's over.
I'm not going to say that. Anything can happen.
The Twins are 12.5 behind.
Yeah,
the Guardians
11. I'll say it's over for the Twins.
Then it's over for the Guardians.
Spenny, if we're in this,
the Guardians have more talent.
If we're in this position a month from now,
I'm not saying it's over until we've clinched
Oh Jesus!
Until we've clinched the playoffs, it's not over.
Okay.
We literally saw it last year. We saw it, and I know it's probably not going to happen again because it was miraculous for sure. Real quick, before we pivot even too far, just pull it back real quick. BlackRock, they've got this pretzel thing. It's like an appetizer. The girl that I went with all the time, she loved it. It's like queso and pretzels, and they bring it out on the rock, and you can put the pretzels on the rock to let them, like it's like a soft pretzel cut up, and you put it on the rock, let it get a little warm, dip it in the cheese. Money. Just had to throw that out there. Shout out BlackRock.
It is an experience. No, shout out to BlackRock. Glad to have them on board. All right, in the chat, Nerf, Neil has never been more right than he is about Skubal right now. If the Tigers don't resign, then we know that they're not serious about winning. David Witt, Scoobs is better. Scoobs getting better is insanity. It's like if someone told me Jahmyr Gibbs got faster in the off season. Also, too, in the Woodward Sports chat, you can jump in there and get your thoughts. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Dumbo Jumbo in the super chat. It's Canada Day, but can I get a hell yeah? They want an eagle sound too. There he is. He's back. Double G21 with the super chat. Scuba can throw those nasty pitches for you or against you. How do you want to do it, little Chris? I like that message.
That's as simple as it gets.
That was a bar. That was absolutely a bar. Real quick, Simeon, can you can you check the app on Caesars? See what the Tigers are to win the division now. My bet is they're probably Yeah, it's probably a short-term CD is probably a better move than betting on the Tigers to win the division. Here's one, too. Jesse Adams, just watch. This is going to be Scherzer 2.0. I want to keep him, but you know Chris is sleeping or still promising the district.
Chris, learn from the sins of your father.
He ain't spending on his teams, Neil Rule. Speaking of that, by the way, just because it plays, happy Bobby Bonilla Day to everybody.
Shout out, Maz.
Yep. Bobby Bonilla collects his $1.19 million from the Mets and $500,000 from the Orioles, stemming from his contract deferral. His payments from New York continue through 2035,
Jesus
and his Baltimore
Christ.
payouts run out through 2028. Speaking of Scherzer,
Damn, Bobby, you're the GOAT.
Bobby's the GOAT for
GOAT.
sure, dude.
speaking of Scherzer, happy Max Scherzer Day.
Shout out.
Because this directly relates to the Tigers. Remember when the Tigers offered him 6 years, $140 million,
Yes.
and put out a press release about it?
Yeah.
After he said no,
I sure do.
the Washington Nationals will pay Blue Jays pitcher Max Scherzer today $15 million thanks to his deferred compensation stemming through the 2015 free agent contract. Those $15 million payouts will continue through 2028 for Max Scherzer.
God, dude.
Because he turned down the 6 at 140 to the Tigers to take 7 at 210 from the Nationals with deferred payments. These are those. So every July 1st through 2028, you can be reminded of the fact that Max Scherzer turned down 6 at 240 to take 7 at 210 from the Nationals, won a World Series, and gets $15 million a year till 2028.
That's a good business move if I've ever heard it. Wow. Can't blame the guy.
And won a World Series.
I want there to be a Tarek Skubal Day. That's what I want.
Yeah,
Like Bobby Bonilla.
when he signed
For the Tigers.
For the Tigers.
Yeah, when
I
he
want there
signs.
to be a Tarek Skubal Day where every year for the next 100 seasons we pay him $1 million a year because he deserves it, and I want him to be here forever, and I love him.
Shout out to, you talk about bag day, Manny Ramirez gets a $2 million deferral payment from the
Manny.
Red Sox stemming from his 8-year, $160 million free agent contract back in 2001. He'll get one final $2 million payment next year. Remember Ryan Braun?
I do remember Ryan Braun.
He gets a $1.8 million deferral from the Brewers today.
Ryan Braun on the juice, dude.
41-year-old will continue to earn these payments through 2031.
I was always more of a Matt Kemp guy than a Ryan Braun when they played together, and I guess I was right. Ryan Braun's a juicer. I think Matt Kemp juiced too, though. But
I know Bobby Bonilla
doesn't fit my narrative.
I know Bobby Bonilla gets all the credit, but shout out Brett Saberhagen.
Shout
he
out.
gets another $250,000 deferment from the Mets from his 3-year, $15.5 million extension back in 1994. He will continue to get $250,000 a year until 2028.
Dude,
he's 61
Where's
years
that
old
one?
right
That's
now.
great.
Yeah.
Love that.
Baseball money is
God
so
dang it.
stupid, dude. Literally, and we're going to Shohei Day. Wait until Shohei Day happens in about 15 years when Shohei
For
retires.
eternity.
Yeah, it's going to be every year for the rest of time. He's going to get $2 million a season.
And before we cut to the break, this one's good because it's funny. Matt Holliday. Remember Matt Holliday?
Shout out Matt Holliday.
He gets $1.4 million today from the Cardinals, nearly double what his son Jackson Holliday makes in
Shout
the
out-
major leagues right now.
Matt Holliday, one of the most vascular heads I've ever seen. Pause.
The 45-year-old Holliday will continue to receive this payment annually through 2029, when at that time he will be 49 years old.
Shout out you, Freddie Felt. Shout out you.
So there it is. That's fun.
That
I
is fun.
like that day on July 1st. That's going to be a bit. What's the number? The Tigers are minus 6,500 to win the division right now on Caesar Sportsbook.
Jesus.
Spenny, you're literally better off putting your money in a low interest bearing checking account.
Yeah, that's not great returns on that one.
But Spenny says it's not over.
It's not
then
over.
bet the Guardians.
I'm not going to bet the Guardians.
Then you don't believe. Then you don't believe what you say.
It's not over
What are the
until
Guardians to
you
win
have
it?
clinched
Plus
a
1800.
division or a playoff spot.
Guardians are almost 20 to 1, Spenny. Come on, you do an emotional hedge.
No. I don't
don't
hedge.
believe.
I don't hedge. You know I don't hedge.
I know that's one of your flaws.
I'm a man of conviction. It's worked out pretty well so far.
No, you've done well, but one of your flaws is you don't hedge, Spenny.
It's true.
You need to get into it. Dexter James, MLB needs a cap limit. Dexter, that's why they do these deals.
That's why they're going to have a lockout in a year.
And that's why they're probably going to have a lockout in a year. Owners, there's 8 owners that say they'll die on the hill for a salary cap in baseball. So there it is. Cody Engel, we saw epic collapses last summer. Yes, Cody, a 1 in 60 year collapse and a 1 in 60 year run.
Probably not going to happen again.
Not going to happen again.
There's always a chance.
There is always a chance. All right, let's take the break. The Piston stuff.
Yep.
Let's get into the Piston stuff. We'll get into the Wing stuff. We got 4 downs the rest of the way through football season because it is July.
15 minutes to free agency in the NHL.
But 10 seconds to Gold Crown.
Absolutely. Less than that. Neil at Gold Crown. Concentrates are their bread and butter. Crafting elite collab extracts since their caregiver days. Gold Crown partners with craft growers across Michigan to bring you exclusive full spectrum concentrates, infused pre-rolls, live resin infused gummies. Their new line, Crown Jewels, is here. Gelatin-free, effect-based, coated in nerds for that extra pop. Find Gold Crown in over 300 dispensaries statewide. Smoke like royalty. All rise for the reign of royal highs. Only with Gold Crown.
Those are the Nerd Bites version of edibles. It's literally the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Shout out Gold Crown.
Shout out Gold Crown.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff like gimmies on the golf course. We like uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's haircuts from men, where you walk in, you sign in, you sit down before you know it. You're handsome and clean. Lady Jane's open 10 to 8, 7 days a week, walking anytime. Why? It's wicked awesome.
All right. Man, this feels like a Friday show, man, or a Monday show, like post-football. We got a lot cooking. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty here with you. Chase, intern Simeon, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the chat. If you want to skip the line, use the super chat like that boy Roy did. Baseball will get a cap after the Dodgers win it back-to-back. Probably. Yeah, that's probably it.
Unless the Tigers.
Well, I don't know, like, you have Shohei Ohtani, and somebody here in the chat, Detroit LFC, Ohtani will get $68 million per year from 2034 to 2043.
Oh, by the way, did you see Troy Weaver doing Troy Weaver things, signing Kevon Looney? Like,
did he really?
Oh, yeah. Brought in Kevon Looney, traded for Sadiq Bey. Marvin Bagley's still out there.
Dude,
if he completes the trifecta.
Spenny, you need to get, and this goes for everyone in this room. D-Mac, you too. D-Mac, do you love golf more than Troy Weaver loves Sadiq Bey? I don't think you do.
I don't think he does.
The only thing I love more than, and because it's a lifeblood, is cannabis.
That's fair.
I think he likes Sadiq Bey more than you love cannabis.
You know what? But I think it's also a love and need. Troy Weaver needs these things and loves them as much. So I can appreciate that. I relate more than, if I was going to relate to Troy Weaver, would be my cannabis love than my golf love.
Okay.
But it's a want need sort of thing. Yeah. It's a lifeblood sort of thing.
Is Troy Weaver the Darko Milicic of GMs? Like, when a franchise is just ready to blow it up, they're waving the white flag, they'll just bring in Troy Weaver, and he'll do everything to make them the worst team of all time.
But look at the drafting, though.
Yeah.
You see, as it gets weird like that, there's Alavila vibes with Troy Weaver.
That's fair.
There is.
That's fair. That's very fair.
There just is. Woodward Sports Super Chat, Shane Daniel. Damn, it feels good to listen live and chat instead of listening at night while door dashing. I truly miss being here every day. Shout out to you, Shane
Shout
Daniel.
out Shane
Hey,
Daniel.
shout out to you for listening while you're door dashing too, man. Shout out to you, brother.
Shout out to DoorDash.
Multitasking.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, so, all right, Pistons. Karis LeVert in the fold. He's in there. Dixie Normus.
Shout out.
Darren Waller coming out of retirement, signing with the Dolphins. WTF are the Dolphins doing? They did a trade, actually.
Yeah.
They did
traded
a
for
pick
Darren
swap.
Waller. Yeah.
Yeah, they did a pick swap and traded for him. So that was.
I mean,
it.
he replaces Jonnu Smith. It's fair.
Yeah, 100%. That's fair. Darren Waller, man, like he popped out. I thought he was going to be.
He's
incredible.
kind of crazy.
He is. No, he absolutely.
Him and Tua, they're going to be battling for most CTE on the team. It's going to be a fun watch.
So the Pistons, they lock up Karis LeVert, and I guess D-Mac, it's probably going to be a pivot. 2 years, $29 million. I hesitate to say this is Malik Beasley because it's not. They're not. LeVert is not the shooter that Malik Beasley is. LeVert is not going to make 400 threes for you and be one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA. If I were going to describe his game, I would say, I guess, it's kind of Jaden Ivey-like. Is that fair?
Yeah.
It's kind of Jaden Ivey-like, D-Mac. So, look, here's the deal.
Combo guard.
Yeah. Here's the deal, D-Mac. This clearly, I think, was a pivot from the Malik Beasley situation. It's not a like for like, but it's kind of like guard depth for guard depth. That's what it is to me.
Okay, so comes over from Cleveland.
Correct.
Did JB Bickerstaff coach him in Cleveland?
Whoa. Yeah, I think he did. I think
He did.
he was with it. But just a real quick little pivot. This is from Underdog NBA. Giannis Antetokounmpo not pleased with Bucks' decision to waive Damian
Waive Lillard?
Yeah. Trouble in paradise, Milwaukee.
Okay. Then maybe they will trade Giannis. So he put that publicly.
He did, yes. That's from Chris Haynes. So that's stoneklad.
You know who might also be upset about that? About Giannis, like a Giannis trade?
Who's that?
Who they just signed.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, I left the Pacers to come here. Like,
To play next to Giannis.
but anyway, all right, we'll monitor it.
But here's the thing, like with LeVert, right? Like it's familiarity. Was this one of the things that, like, so don't you like to put yourself in Trajan Langdon, JB Bickerstaff's shoes when this is going on with Beasley, and we're thinking about, okay, they're in negotiations or talks of signing, then stuff comes up with the gambling allegations or whatever's going on, and they stop and they pivot immediately. What does that tell you, Neil? That tells me that the conversation was already leaning towards one or the other, and it has to be familiarity. There's I gotta think this has to do with them getting in, like where the Pistons are at, and it's like I said, where the Red Wings are at. They have to get guys in here that they know what they're gonna get, that believe in the process, that fit in with the culture. We talk it all along with, the Lions and stuff like this, but with the Pistons, it's the same sort of thing. So I think there's some sort of familiarity and there's some sort of thing that JB Bickerstaff really wants him, and this person can help out, especially with Caden, especially with what he's got going forward. So whether we like it or not, I don't think it's about, I think it was they knew they were going to move on from Malik Beasley. It would have got done a lot quicker if it was going to get done.
Yeah.
Right? But the money or, the allegations or whatever it was, but I think that this was one of the guys, no matter you like it or not, that was on their short list because of what you said. He can bring, and what does he bring? He brings the style, the size.
Yeah.
And is that not an NBA player?
He is an NBA player.
Like a pro. We always
For a long time.
Right. But when we talk about, and you relate to guys, right? Tigers brought in a true pro, Gleyber Torres.
Yes.
You see how it is, how not only, yes, the stats, and he goes out and does his job, but what he's meant in the locker room. This might be adding to the culture, adding to the locker room that they already know.
Yeah.
Because there's familiarity with them.
And I like the signing of Karis LeVert. I think that they got him at a good number. It's not like they paid a ton of money for him. It's a fine number. He is going to provide scoring, shot creation, and facilitation off the bench. He's a guy that can come in there and he can run your offense with the second unit. And like I said, he can create his own shot, he can get to a spot, and he can knock down shots. He's not going to be a superstar or an all-star or anything, but this is a good piece for the bench to have some scoring and some shot creation coming out of that. After Cade or Ivy leaves the floor, you've got a guy in Karis LeVert that can handle the offense and create his own shot. So I like it.
Yeah, and if you look at him, again, I want that out there that it's not a Beasley replacement. Because if you're expecting him to be 40% for three, you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the way it's going to work. But he is, like, if you gave him Jaden Ivey's usage, he would literally be Jaden Ivey. Like, the minutes on the floor and stuff like that. From a statistical perspective.
He's shown it, but he's averaged 20 in the league before. I know that was a long time ago, but even last year he averaged 12 in a bench role where he shot 37% from three. He's going to get more opportunities here. You needed the shot creation. Obviously, they don't have a lot of faith in Marcus Sasser being a guy going forward, and I'm not like, oh no, Marcus Sasser. Like, no, it's pretty fair. So to get him after losing Schroeder and Beasley, possibly. We don't know what's going on with Beasley just yet, but he is a good option off of the bench to run your offense. And I think that if you get Malik Monk as well, which are the rumors, having Malik Monk and Karis LeVert as your two guards off the bench is a very good option.
No, you definitely would have a lot of depth, but I did hear that this investigation with Malik Beasley has been going on for over a year. So it wasn't. I don't. And again, I don't know.
Soured more and more and more as the negotiation. They realized that it wasn't going to get done, right? It sounded more like it would get done early on, and then it didn't get done. The rumblings of the investigation into the gambling, that's got to be a big part of it too, and just not the number that he wanted. Like you said, you got this guy at 14, where Beasley's wants 17 or 18 or stuff like that. So. Is anybody upset?
How did the streets respond to it?
I mean, people are, Pistons Twitter is like the worst place ever. Like, Pistons Twitter is awful. It's worse than Lions Twitter. It's a bunch of 12-year-olds screaming about shit. It's like one of the worst places in the world is Pistons Twitter. So they had a reasonable reaction for them, is exactly what I expected. But I think I would say, somewhat knowledgeable and level-headed fans are like, this isn't a move it's not a move that's gonna put them over any of the teams that they're chasing in the East, but it's a good move to bolster your bench. Yeah,
reinforce where they are now.
Yeah,
as a playoff basketball.
Mm-hmm. And we'll see what happens with that Kings move. If it is a sign and trade, they've talked about Malik Monk. I see people in the chat saying Keegan Murray. I doubt they would move on from Keegan Murray, but if they do, would love that too. Like, see you later, Tech. But
really, because that wasn't the sentiment on draft night.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Easy wanted Keegan Murray real bad. He was called the madman. I wanted Shade Sharp, but whatever. If they could get Malik Monk or Keegan Murray for Dennis Schroeder, that's a fucking win.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Weezy D 313. No, Cleveland acquired him from Atlanta, which I believe that was reversed. Atlanta got him from Cleveland, right? He technically they got him signed him from Atlanta. He played 26 games.
He played in Cleveland with JB Bickerstaff pretty much the whole time he was there. So he's very familiar with him. They actually traded for Karis LeVert when JB Bickerstaff was there. So like, he wanted him there. He obviously wanted him here. He likes him here. He likes what he can do. So.
See, like, it's an adult organization.
Yeah.
That's an adult move by Trajan Lange. JB Bickerstaff is an adult. Like, respected. The resume. I've told you guys this, man. Like, maybe it's influenced a little bit. Like, my dealings with JB Bickerstaff, personally, from when I've worked with him, is consummate pro. Gets it. Understands how the real world works. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not aloof to outside.
No.
Just basketball. can
Gets
understand
it.
him 30,000.
And that means a lot, man.
Well, isn't it?
That's what I've learned.
What did he
D-Mac.
bring in? And not only, right, what did we see last year?
Adult moves.
Maturity.
Yep.
You saw more maturity in that organization and by the players on the floor, right? And him getting them to commit to playing defense and doing things that they weren't accustomed to. He's putting men. He's building men and bringing men in.
And now the Nuggets have replaced Michael Porter Jr. and Jonas Valanciunas with Cam Johnson and Dario Saric.
All right. They're
I don't know what the Nuggets are doing.
We got a chip. I ain't going over this tax threshold.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up, dude.
That's literally the AI comment from ownership.
You got prime Jokic and you're just being cheap. That's pretty wild, honestly.
Donovan Strong in the super chat. If you want to jump the line, go ahead and do that. Pistons fans that hate the Kara signing, but we had to add someone. Free agent market is empty now.
Yeah.
Who else were they going to sign?
Pistons again. I don't say Pistons fans hate the Kara signing. I say Pistons Twitter hates the Kara signing because Pistons Twitter is full of mentally handicapped 12-year-olds, and yeah, they want us to sign LeBron James in free agency and trade for Paolo Banchero, and if we don't do all of that, then
the fantasy stuff.
Yeah,
the trade machine stuff. Dumbo Jumbo, can he be more of a shooter in the playoffs? He's Jaden
He's a shot creator.
He's Jaden Ivey shooting.
Yes,
35% from three.
Yeah, he's a shot creator. He'll knock down. He's not a cold-blooded standstill shooter like Malik Beasley was.
Right.
But he's a shot creator, and he'll be a good guard off your bench in your rotations. He'll be a much better Tim Hardaway Jr. Well, no, because Tim Hardaway Jr. is not really a shot creator either. He's more of just a sniper. So he's an improved Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's a good way
to
to
put it. He's a better
put
Dennis Schroeder.
That's exactly
if he can stay healthy.
Put it. DNC ENT Spartan Dog Gary Harris to Milwaukee. Get your bags, Gary.
Shout out Gary, dude.
Yes.
Gary looks like a black version of my friend Ethan. We always call him Black Ethan.
Okay.
Who also went to Michigan State, another Spartan Dog.
Real quick, before we go to the break, Dad with Tourette's. If Dame wants the mid-level exception we have, I'll take him. Outside of that, we've got Cade, Ivy, Sasser, Levert. The guards are set.
I don't like putting Sasser in a guard rotation where I say that's set. Marcus Sasser is a nothing burger in the NBA right now. And that's nothing on him. That's just cold, hard facts.
All right, let's do the break. We're a little bit late. Let's talk about Loom.
Absolutely. Summer is heating up and Michigan is buzzing. That's Loom's can of buzzing drinks. Each can delivers 7.5 milligrams of real THC wrapped in bubbles, crafted with real fruit juice and no artificial sweeteners. They're bold in flavor but low in calories. Spenny, 100% hangover free.
They're so good.
All bubbles, no troubles. Perfect for poolside sips, bonfire nights, lake day chills, or maybe on the golf course. Available at any of the Loom's 38 locations across Michigan. Use code WSN30 for 30% off your entire order. Online or in-store, go to www.loom.com today.
It's part beauty, part beast. It's for those who dare to be different, for those who want to stand out, and for those who are built for more. The all-new Ineos Grenadier combines strength and style for an unmatched driving experience. Sold exclusively at Feldman Ineos of Waterford.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Les Stanford, Chevrolet, Cadillac, and Buick GMC. They got deals for everybody, so make sure you check in. Les Stanford, They got the best customer service in the game. My guy Goran, he's trying to get me into a ton of. My lease is up. He's trying to get me into different things. He was lurking on an Equinox, but I was like, I don't know if I really want an Equinox. So he said, don't worry about it. We'll extend your lease for a month, and I'll get you in a brand new Blazer that's coming out of the factory. Here's your number. That's your car. Where else are you going to find service like that? Shout out to Goran from Les Stanford. Go to Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC if you want the best service to put you in the best car imaginable.
All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule and Darren McCarty here in the house. Hour number 2, Chasing the Chase Lounge. Of course, we have intern Simeon, Spencer Raxter, as always, is here. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread, jump into there, get your thoughts out there. What up, Doe? Duncan Robinson is still available. Bring him home. Spenny?
I mean, if you get Duncan Robinson, I'm not going to say it's a bad move. He can do one thing, and he does that one thing pretty well. And you need that one thing, and everybody needs that one thing. So if you make the move, cool. I'm not here pining for Duncan Robinson. I like players that can play whole games.
Art Vandelay, we need LeBron like I need to hand light a bottle rocket this Friday.
Everybody be safe out there.
There's a part of me when you speak. Never mind. Never mind.
I know what you're gonna say.
Never
you
mind.
get what you fucking deserve.
That's never gonna happen to D-Mac. You are never gonna see in a text in the Woodward chat, "Hey guys, can't come into work. Blew my hand off with a bottle rocket." You're never gonna see that from me. Never. People say never. You will never see a news story, a text from me that says, "Hey guys, I blew my hand off with a bottle rocket. Sorry, I can't come into work." It's never going to happen. You know why? Because I don't mess with bottle rockets. Do you know why? Because I don't want to blow my hand off. I'll never understand it. And since we're on this, and I was going to save this for Thursday, what's the allure of the M80 or the quarter stick of dynamite? What, for real? I'm being serious. I want someone to answer this. For real. Why? What's the draw? What makes it great? I want an answer from somebody.
It explodes.
Cool.
Yeah.
And they're what, like $50 a piece or some crazy number? Like, why? Boom!
Yeah,
I just want an explanation.
That ain't me.
Somebody. Blur Dog. They're not the same. Ivy is light years better. Do the side-by-side.
I'll say Jaden Ivey has a lot more potential.
100%.
He is a much younger player. Karis LeVert's best days are behind him. Better athlete for sure. They're asked to do the same thing on the basketball court.
Okay. That was it. Look at the numbers, man. If you extrapolate the usage, they're very, very very comparable. So yeah, that is something I've always wondered, though. Detroit, it's the boom.
We bring the boom.
Danny G,
Are
real
those guys
men.
still alive?
Danny G.
Yeah, they're still doing stuff.
Shout out.
Danny G, real men like fire and explosions.
I
enjoy fire.
I like fire. I'll go watch fireworks. Like we said this before. Like if it's an event, if you're letting off fireworks, that's cool. I don't need.
Isn't it the gimmick? Cool guys don't look at explosions.
Cool
they
guys
just slowly
don't. Yeah.
just like walk away.
They
from
blow
them.
things up, then they
Yeah.
walk away. Yeah. Who's got time for a silly explosion? They got a lot of cool guy stuff that they got to attend to. So
I like bonfires.
I like
or
bonfires.
Pit fires. I like.
I'm a
playing
big sit around
fire
a
and
fire
do that,
guy.
but I don't like shit that explodes.
No, I
I
don't.
I'll watch it from a distance.
And I've really started to hate fireworks more because my dog. Like I've had dogs my whole life. None of them have been as bad as she is. She will, like I said, she's a 90-pound dog. She'll jump in your lap and profusely shake until they stop. So I don't like that at all.
That's fair. But yeah. Weezy D313, LOL, how is it poor Jokic all of a sudden? Because they're
what are you talking about, dude? Look at what's happening before your eyes.
Ryan's reaction in the super chat. There's still a hole in my front yard of my centerline home from the half stick of dynamite I lit after the Red Wings won back-to-back cups.
Hey, shout out Centerline, dude.
Shout out Centerline.
We got a lot of Centerline representation in this room.
That is true.
Absolutely.
Rodney, Neil, why are you so upset? It costs nothing to smile. Calm down, bro. From Flint Town Smiley. Rodney, I don't see the point of it. Especially, too, for what they cost. It's like if you were going to tell me, I like the ones that shoot up and explode and make the colors.
Yeah.
I could vibe with you.
You could vibe with that.
Like, I get what you're saying.
There's no point to an M80.
None. Other than to endanger the usage or
be a dick.
Possession of your hand, or number 2, to be a dick and be like, hee hee hee. Oh, did you hear that? Hee hee hee.
Yeah.
No one likes it.
No.
Do a poll next time. Hey, Rodney, do a poll of your neighborhood next time. Like, go light it off and then get your little giggle and laugh, and then go around and see if anyone in your city liked it.
Yeah.
The answer is no.
Nope.
Okay. That's it. All right. Let's get the break and get back on the clock and settle in. The focus will shift to hockey, and we'll talk about the Yzerman stuff. We got to rest in peace. We got 2 4-downs. We do football 4-downs the rest of the way every single day. It's intern Simeon. On his last day, we're going to do a Missouri college football
Hell
breakdown.
Yeah. And a Vanderbilt one.
I got more. I can't remember if I sent them to you or not. I got more photos from boots on the ground in Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
We have updated crane photos.
Cranes are up, baby.
Did I send them to you? I can't remember.
You sent the one during the show.
Yeah, somebody on Instagram sent me 2, from different angles, like literally from that day. You guys are awesome, man. You guys are absolutely awesome. Caesar Sportsbook. If you want to take the Tigers at minus 6,500 to win the division, Caesar Sportsbook. And you can do it risk-free, I guess. If you want to bet your $1,000 up to $1,000, as long as you use the promo code Woodward1000 when you download the app and make your first deposit using the promo code Woodward1000, you can bet up to $1,000. And if you happen to lose that first bet, you'll get it back as a free bonus bet. So yeah, it'll get you like $6, $6.50 or whatever. But you could do it risk-free if you wanted to do that. But it's Caesars, everybody. One of the OGs of the sports betting game. The app is clean. It doesn't glitch out. They have all the markets. The live betting is electric as well. So scan the QR code and get in the game. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. If you have a gambling addiction or think you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! The boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy I trusted for 4 Stanley Cups. Dr. Jeff Pierce here to keep you in the game, performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com. Call 248-426-9944.
All right, we're back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty. We have Chase, of course, intern Simeon, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the chat. Art Vandelay, every neighborhood has that one neighbor that lights way too many fireworks, especially nowhere near 4th of July.
Yeah.
4th of July, get your shit off.
Listen, yeah.
As KG would say, rest in peace.
4th of July, and to any holiday like that, 4th of July.
And like if it's Saturday's the 3rd of July,
whatever.
I got you.
But on a random Tuesday in the fall, come on, dude.
I agree, man. Just because they're legal doesn't mean you need to do it every day.
Yeah.
Like anything else. KJ, Beasley posted on a Snap story again about an hour ago. Hopefully he's doing this because he's not worried about being found guilty. Yeah, we'll see. They are, if you're betting, like Jonte Porter, like you're out.
Out of there.
Yeah.
For life.
no
Well,
second
isn't
best.
the thing on it the lines moved on his odds that were bet against, but a lot of the stuff that was made, like under bets on things, a lot of the bets he went over. You know what I mean? They didn't even catch. It's just because, from my understanding from listening to it, it's because his name as a player is involved in a lot of line movements from plus to minus money and stuff like this. This is more back in his Milwaukee days than it was last year.
Right. It's
So
been
this
going
is
on
2
for a
years.
minute.
This is a few years ago. So
Yeah,
I mean,
it is. It doesn't seem like as cut and dry as like Jonte Porter bet on his props, unders, and then look, he's hurt in the third quarter, So there's that out there. So we'll definitely keep an eye on it. Kang, bro, Levert and Ivy are two different players. I don't care what the usage says.
What's different about them?
Ivy is a superior isolation player.
Based on what? Show me the numbers, please. Show me the numbers and the statistics you have to back these claims.
And I'll show you the numbers and statistics that suggest that they're very,
if you show
very
them
similar.
that they're extremely different, we'll back down. You can't just say shit because you feel like it.
Not in here.
No.
Save that shit from 2 to 4. Mike Putnam, M80 in a watermelon, epic. Okay, there we go. All right, let's talk Red Wings.
That's funny.
Detroit, we used to have firecracker wars and throw them at each other and shoot Roman candles and whistle rockets.
Oh, me and my brothers used to shoot Roman candles at each other in the backyard all the time. All the time. But that was when I was a boy. Now I'm a man.
Yes. Darrell, Jesus Christ, people just say anything. Yes, they do. Yes, they absolutely do. Okay, Red Wings. Look, I'll just start with this. And D-Mac, you had a great comp that I didn't hear from anywhere else. Because for me, it starts with the Tarasenko thing.
Oh, 100%.
And for those that don't know, the Red Wings were able to move off of Tarasenko for, quote, future considerations. And my first response is, okay, how much money are we keeping on that? Must be half. Come to find, and I keep waiting to hear there's an update. They are retaining some. No, there's no money being kept by the Red Wings. And I, for the life of me, couldn't figure out why Minnesota would be involved with this, other than maybe they think, because, look, Minnesota's a playoff team. They need to make a move and they got talent on that team. 100% they do. Maybe they feel as though a vet may unlock maybe another round in the playoffs or something. But I can't figure out another angle, D-Mac.
The only one I can figure out is their best player's name is Kirill Kaprizov, and he's Russian, and maybe that they're boys, and, it's one of these things, because what it does happen when it is your best player, Bill Guerin being a GM, and Bill Guerin's, was a locker room guy. He's a leader, Stanley Cup champion, Jersey, Dallas, whatever. He's a good dude, right? So what I'm trying to say is that he'd have this conversation with his star guys, and maybe it was something like that. I don't know, but this is sort of getting underplayed, because what Steve Yzerman pretty much did, right, is he got whatever. What was the money he's making? 4?
Yeah.
Pushing 5. Yeah.
Pushing 5 off the books to be able to give him an opportunity to resign or whatever like this. What he just did, he just signed your boy Johnny Burgers.
Yep.
For 1 year.
And Eljo.
Right? And Albert Johansson and Lagesson for a couple years at the mid. He got all 3 of those guys for what the Tarasenko money, who are already here. It's just a little bit of, I guess, not witchcraft or sorcery or whatever it is, but Steve Yzerman's, doing some moves. It's like when you look at the John Gibson move, you pretty much traded Joe Veleno for John Gibson.
Yeah.
Now, who would have not done that when you're sitting here and need a goaltender? Like, John, let's break it down for real. John Gibson is probably the top goaltender that you could get.
Yes.
Because everybody else not giving away their guys. In fact, like Jersey signing Jake Allen for 5 years, and Thatcher Demko in Vancouver signing for 8 years. And guys are like, there's not that many available. What it tells me is that seems to be the word we're getting about Kosa not being ready is true. But I know that going into training camp and having John Gibson and Cam Talbot as your goaltenders, that is a playoff caliber goaltending.
Agreed.
Like that can get you there and get you those wins. Now it's interesting because free agency is underway, but who do we add? Like so Steve Yzerman in for all the naysayers and the ones that hate him that he's got to do something, this is elite level. Like this is your salary cap money behind the scenes sort of thing. It's not the flashy, Madden or NHL video game trade, but it's stuff that needs to be done. And this is like a bonus. You got a gift. Did you not? This isn't supposed to happen because it's pretty much you wiped it off. And now we'll see what he can do with it. But that's Steve Yzerman doing, Steve Yzerman things. And sometimes these are the only moves that you can do because of the situation you're in. Right?
Yeah, it's just, yes, obviously everyone's going to like that move. But now I think where we are on this highway, what's the follow-up?
That's it.
What are you going to do with it?
Right, because what's he done? He's put more money back into his salary cap.
He's got to
spend it.
About
I would
$17
hope to spend it if he seems reasonable to spend it on again. But like, who's out there? The big move, like I said earlier, is that if you're gonna make a splash with sort of a guy, you brought up Robertson or whatever, and I don't. Not sold on him, but that Keandre Miller.
Keandre Miller would be great.
Right? But you have to do a trade and sign.
Yeah.
So that's maybe why he's packing up some shekels in the bank, because he's got to give out a big contract. But I like the fact that you re-signed, you re-signed Albert Johansson. I think that's, low-key.
Good deal.
Yeah, real good. 1.3 or something.
2 years,
so
yeah.
It's not that he's not –
Brought
it's
back
not
Patty
like he's
Kane.
not working. But then I go back to listening to Steve Yzerman quotes and saying for everybody who's thinking that there's a big splash and there's a huge thing is that you're going to be sorely disappointed. But I think as a Wings fan and trying to focus in on, can we make the playoffs? Can we get better? Is this team getting better? Well, sometimes your subtractions where it doesn't cost you, you don't have to buy guys out, doesn't go against you. That's positive moves too.
Yeah.
Like the free agent thing, and I keep hearing everybody talking about like Keandre Miller, like from the Rangers, restricted free agent. You're gonna have to get in the waters to be able to do that. I'm not in love with the name and the free agents for the NHL that are out there right now. They look like free agents for the NBA. Super old dudes that are coming off big time deals that are gonna get nowhere near what they had before. So I guess, Spenny, I go to you then as the king of the transaction, who is very desirous of the transaction. What realistically?
Yeah.
We're trying to live in a realistic space.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, what? Give me the comp, man. What's the move?
I think D-Mac nailed it on the head. Realistically, you're going to look at a guy like Keandre Miller. They're going to talk with Dallas about Jason Robertson and what they want to do with that. But realistically, nobody fucking knows because Steve Yzerman doesn't say anything about. He could be in the works for a pasta trade this whole time, and something crazy happens like that last minute. That's not something I'm going to hold on to, but I do believe they're not just going to hold on to this like $15 to $17 million in cap space and just be like, okay, we're good with that. I do believe they're going to bring in a top 6 forward. I do believe they're going to bring in a top 4 defenseman, and we'll see how they get that done. But they've got the money to make it up for it. And they added Patrick Kane. They re-signed him to a 1-year, $3 million deal. You're going to bring him in here. He's going to become the greatest scoring American hockey player of all time. He's going to get to however many goals, I think 500 or whatever it is that he's chasing right now. And that's going to be awesome. What's going to be even better about that is next year on this team, Patrick Kane's going to be in the Vladimir Tarasenko role, where he's on the third line, and you're not relying on him to be a top 6 forward, because that's not what you should be relying on Patrick Kane at this point in his career. I believe they're going to bring in somebody to bolster that top 6 and be a legitimate top 6 when you're looking at a playoff team.
Anybody else happy if Patrick Kane just played the power play and overtime?
Absolutely.
He can play. Yeah. He can play the power play, overtime, and shootout.
Yeah.
For $3 million on that bench, he'll still score 20, 15, 20 goals.
Yes.
Whatever. If you count his,
it's literally like he's playing in a beer league. Right?
Yeah.
Like
whatever.
a beer league role.
No.
Yeah.
But I mean, to that point, Spenny, yes, they need guys to lug out the 5-on-5 and other minutes, but make him your specialist. Now,
yes.
It's not to that point, but that's what you're saying in limiting sort of his 5-on-5 minutes and sort of protecting. They got to play better defensively, and they got to figure
better.
out. Like what I'm looking for, bring in a dog for this penalty kill.
Yeah.
What's Glendening? Is he still signed in Dallas and stuff like that? Like that's the guy, the type of guy you need. That meat and potatoes guys that are going to take that penalty killing and that effort and make it non-negotiable.
Yeah.
That's what they need.
Granular Woodward Sports Chat. DNC ENT. Jonte didn't bet on himself. He was sending texts during the game to people with bets on the game. Things like, I'm leaving at halftime with an eye injury. If I get back in the game, it breaks off there. I don't know exactly what he said. Yeah, DNCNT, and I'm sure, he's just doing that to be a good buddy, right? Like, come on, man. Speaking of granular, the whole Karis LeVert, Jaden Ivey thing that's going on in there. Guys, who cares how you get to the numbers you get to? They're very comparable.
And they're asked to do the same thing.
And if you really want to get granular on it, here's the deal: give the ball to 2.
It's fair.
That's the answer for everybody on this team.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, give the ball to 2.
Let him make a shot for you.
Or he'll do it for himself.
Mm-hmm.
So we can settle that right there with that. So, okay, let's take the break. When we come back, 4 downs.
Shout out.
Football every day. And Spenny, I can tell you're not comfortable with it. You better get comfortable with it.
It's a lot of football.
It's July.
It is July.
They have a game in like 3 weeks.
I'm a big summer guy. I like baseball a lot. I like the kind of relaxing.
The show goes on.
I know.
Sorry. Well, you're going to learn today.
Yeah.
You're going to learn. We've been learning a lot about Ben Johnson, by the way, because he's the fighter you need on your side. And Ben Johnson, justice comes in many forms, everybody. A settlement, a verdict. There's tons of different ways to get justice. Ben Johnson is the fighter that can get you the justice that you need in your life. We're talking about real life things here, everybody. Decisions that have consequences, all of it. Things that will directly impact you, possibly for the rest of your life. Ben Johnson Law is the move for you. The fighter, go to benfights.com. Get Ben Johnson Law on your side today. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
All right, Woodward sports fans, whether you're hitting a game or just chilling, Jars Cannabis has you covered. Jars is home to Michigan's largest lineup of rec cannabis products. They've got over 30 locations across the state, repping Michigan in a big way. 9 locations right in Metro Detroit, so there's always one nearby. If you're in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Milan, get ready. New stores are coming your way soon. Go to jarscannabis.com to see where you can get your favorite products today. Check with the Darren McCarty brand in stores everywhere.
All right, we're back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule and Darren McCarty and Chase and intern Simeon and Spencer Raxter and all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Tons going on to get to. But it's July 1st. Lions have a game, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. Hey, Neil, the Lions play July 31st. It's 4 weeks, not 3.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't do well with the granular stuff. There's a game at the end of July.
It's fair.
We're in July.
That is true.
It's close. It's time for football. 4 downs every day. We're doing a 4 down every day. Intern Simeon, you are tasked with this information. It is your time to shine.
Don't blow it,
Spencer Raxter doesn't like it, but we don't care. The show goes on.
But it's time.
But it's time, absolutely. Lions, 4 down every day. Let's go.
Here we go. The longest losing streak on the schedule. How many games will it be and where on the schedule is it?
The longest losing streak on the schedule. There are multiple highways where there could be there will be a 2-game losing streak this year. Is that fair to say?
Oh God.
Look, we can get granular about it and say, well, it's going to be here, it's going to be here. There could be a 3-game losing streak. There could be. I'm at 11-6. There could be a 3-game losing streak in that. So with that being said, and there are multiple times where you could see that, the back-to-back on the road at the NFC East strikes me as one that could be there. There will be a quote-unquote losing streak. They will lose 2 games in a row at some point. And D-Mac, just bottom line, more of a philosophy. I don't think this town's prepared for that mentally or physically.
Yeah, but it's all part of it. So what are you not, you got to go in the Eagles, you got to go into Washington, back-to-back weekends and stuff like that. I think there's 2. I don't think there's 3, right? And like you said, this team's 11-6, 12-5, whatever. The biggest thing is let's just get healthy. But you have to be prepared. That's the one thing that they're going to not try to do, and that was one of Scotty Bowman's unwritten rules. Don't lose 2 in a row. Right, where we always tried not to, and it happened. You played some great road trips or whatever, tough Western road trips or whatever, but we were always successful. You didn't try to lose 2 in a row. That's what it is. In football, it's a little different, more amplified, but it's not the end of the world. It's the same thing as if you don't win 15 games. Well,
it's
you know
over.
what? Wrong.
It's over. It's all over, D-Mac. This is it.
Just a side note. Last year's schedule versus this year's schedule. Last year was a 6 out of 10. This year's a 7.5 out of 10, or is it more than that?
Yeah, I would say it's more than that.
More.
This is the toughest schedule I've ever seen assembled.
So it's like a 9.
Yeah,
and last year was what, a 6?
4.
Yeah,
4? So is this schedule twice? Is this
6.
schedule twice as hard as last year?
Yes.
It is, right? So you're saying 11 or 12 wins, 6, right? Is sort of that's real acceptable. With the difficulty.
100%.
And both their crossovers, it seems like they got the worst end of the draw. Like the AFC North, they have to go to Baltimore, to Cincy.
Yes.
The NFC East, they have to go to Philly, to Washington. Probably the 2 best teams
Yeah,
in those
Steel,
divisions.
Sharp, and Steel. That's you.
I could tell you're the athlete of the group because you're getting
That's
excited
where you
about
want to be to know where you're at to whatever to get a piece of these guys because these are some of the teams that you probably might face. But you always want the smoke, especially if you're this team, right? We're talking about the Lions, not the Red Wings.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Ed says, why is it that I see Larkin as a second-line center in a successful Red Wings team? Because that's how they'll be successful.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you ever listened to Big D Energy? You see it correctly, sir.
No, and Ed, I think that the 4 Nations saw you it showed you specifically You put him in that role. He was a third liner on that team.
Well, he moved up.
There's one of two ways that it would be reaching its true potential, and they both happened in the Four Nations. It was one when he was the grind, third line, go after it, he was insane, or one when he's on the first line and he's got two elite wings alongside him. That's where you saw him really have a lot of success too. So if they can get another elite wing and Lucas Raymond can put together a whole season, then he could be a successful first-line center.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Brad Holmes is elite at drafting but is cheap with free agents. I don't know. Penei Sewell's contract didn't look cheap.
No.
Amon-Ra St. Brown's contract didn't look cheap.
No.
You don't need to be
It's
cheap
the
when
fact
you
we're
draft
not.
that well.
We're not.
You need to worry about being cheap.
We're not conditioned to signing our own guys.
Yeah, and I really
That's what it is.
like David Montgomery and Alex Anzalone. They were both free agents that Brad Holmes brought in.
And re-signed.
Yeah, and re-signed.
That's fair.
You're re-signing your own guys.
Kevin Zeitler was pretty good last year.
Yes, he
DJ
was.
Reader's been pretty good. You want him to sign? You want him to draft superstars and sign superstars? You literally can't.
D-Mac. You slid that one by me right there, too.
DJ Reed, pretty good signing. Carlton Davis was a pretty good signing last year, too. Oh, well, that was a trade. Sorry.
Which one?
We did shows on this, literal shows when we first started here together of my favorite game to play during a June was pull up the Lions draft history and go through the last 20 years of draft picks.
And who they re-signed.
And who they re-signed. Like two guys like ever. Now they re-sign them all because they're actually good.
Yeah.
And as we are not conditioned.
Why?
For that.
We're not. No, we're not. We haven't been conditioned in the past. We're conditioned for our hockey team. Or whatever else, but we're not conditioned, definitely not with our football team. And then look at what we're talking about to start the show with our baseball team. Even when we have the best players in the game or arguably the top players in the game, are we going to re-sign our own guys? You know, like stuff like this. So we're just not conditioned that we draft them, they're good, they're the pros, they're the best free agents out there already in your system with the Lions.
Yeah, why the fuck is this team re-signing multiple-time first-team All-Pros to superstar contracts and not bringing in Trey Flowers? Why the fuck aren't they doing that? Why would you pay your own guys that you drafted the majority of the money in your salary cap instead of going out and bringing in more guys?
Gold Jackets loading.
I just, like... People, I don't know, man. I really don't know sometimes.
It's absolutely true. Woodward Sports Chat or DNC ENT. I don't do well with the granular crowd. MFer, you are the granular crowd. LOL. See, no, DNC. I'm not like I do the contract stuff. I do it though. They're going to sign him to a 4-year, $100 million deal, and always there's somebody that will jump in and say, "Well, it's 4 years, $96 million." It's $100 million. Like, come on. Yeah. I'm not going to remember if it's 96 or 98. That granular crowd, DNCNT, that's what I hate. I hate that shit. Like, people that'll tell you spelled that word wrong in a tweet. You know what I was saying.
Yep.
I hate that stuff. All right, go on.
Second down.
Second down.
CBS Sports had an all-bargain team. 4 lines were listed. Gibbs, Sewell, Hutchinson, and Branch. Who's the next Brad Holmes bargain that will be on those teams?
You want an off-the-board one? A guy like a Jack Campbell. That's like an off-the-board one. And I know...
Forgotten about.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And, like, I know his position's compromised in terms of finances and things like that. But still.
What was the question?
Who do you see being the next all-bargain team?
Oh, Jameson Williams.
Even he's going to kick up soon.
Yeah, but, like, next year?
Next year, that's fair.
Well, Laporta.
Good catch. Laporta, too. Given where the tight end position's going?
Yeah. Given where the tight end position
because you
not going where it's at.
Where it's at, right.
Yeah.
And going to continue to go.
I'd say Laporta.
And he's going to fly under the radar after what he, like, down-ish year last
year.
Dude,
kid just got married. He's so low-key and just business as usual.
Well, I mean, is the easy button Jahmyr Gibbs because the running back contract is kind of back, so even a first-round deal looks like a pretty good deal when you're looking at what Jahmyr Gibbs is as a running back.
Yeah, he was on that team too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I
like running backs are getting paid again. Saquon got paid. Derrick Henry got paid. And Jahmyr Gibbs. When I talk about running, those are the only guys that I mentioned with Jahmyr Gibbs. So I'm talking running backs in the league are Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry. And you got him on a rookie contract.
Well, that train's headed at you, though, with Jahmyr Gibbs and that money.
Oh, yeah.
God, I would never want that job.
No.
I would never want that job. Third down.
Third down, Lions are one of 5 listed as likely calling on T.J. Watt. The 4 others are fellow NFC contenders. If he becomes available, how important is it that the Lions try to get him, and what does it do to the expectations if someone else gets him as a contender or the Lions get him?
It's interesting, D-Mac, because what I like, and this is for the Brad Holmes crowd out there, when everything went down with Myles Garrett, what was the word? The word was, hey, the Lions went in, they made their pitch, they ended up signing Myles Garrett. I want people to hear this, D-Mac. All of these fantasy trades that everybody talks about, Brad Holmes picks up the phone.
Yeah.
And there's reports of it.
Every single one of them.
Every single one of them.
Danielle Hunter, Trey Hendrickson, Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, all of them. Now T.J. Watt.
Confirm reports that he called and picked up the phone. What else can you do, D-Mac? And by the way, none of these guys went anywhere.
Nope.
Right, and here's the thing. Right, exactly. And here, do you believe that Brad Holmes will throw his bid in the hat or whatever to the agent? Absolutely, 100%, no matter who it is. If it's a guy that sort of they want coming around. I have no qualms to the fact that he does his due diligence.
That's why I hate this. Brad Holmes doesn't bring anybody in, or Brad Holmes doesn't do. He calls, dude. And I know this because they didn't end up going anywhere. So how can you be mad he didn't get someone that didn't go anywhere?
Yeah, I would almost be willing to bet my left nut that T.J. Watt is a Pittsburgh Steeler this year, because you're not going to put all of your faith in Aaron Rodgers while subsequently giving up T.J. Watt the same year. Like that, those things don't work. Dat Boy Roy with the Woodward Sports Chat, Super Chat, he says, Spenny, people listen to 97.1 and think they're telling the truth with every take.
Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me. Couldn't tell you. I used to listen to 97.1 all the time. Haven't in a while.
I don't do the whole.
I'll listen to the live broadcasts
of the games.
I'll listen to Dan Dickerson.
Last one. Let's rock before Doc.
Fourth down. Betting odds here for season player awards. Would you rather take right now Goff MVP at plus 4,000, Gibbs Offensive Player of the Year at plus 1,000, Hutch Depoy at plus 750, or Hutch Comeback Player of the Year at plus 350?
I think Comeback Player of the Year is kind of a lock, no? If he goes out there and he has 17, 18 sacks.
I know, but you're getting more than double the return on Defensive Player of the Year.
It's fair.
But if he gets one, is he going to get both?
Yes. Well, if he gets Defensive Player of the Year,
they'll choose somebody else probably.
You think? I think if he gets Defensive Player of the Year, you have to give him Comeback Player of the Year.
Yeah, they don't like doing that though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why.
What do you got on
the
it,
MVP doesn't
I'm
win
taking Goff.
Because you like because you're you and you like the 40-1.
40-1 for MVP?
Dude, yeah. I spent $20 on way worse shit. Way worse shit. So no, I mean I think that if you're trying to make money, it's taking Comeback Player of the Year, right? Because what does he have to do if he comes back in 10 sacks and all that? Who's the favorite?
Dak Prescott.
You better be taking Hutch.
Yeah.
Wait, Dak was hurt last year? Or he just had a shitty year?
He missed games last year.
I know, I'm just kidding.
The Heat are expected to have interest in Damian Lillard once he clears waivers.
We do have an official...
Sham Charania, by the way, just now. Free agent guard Dennis Schroeder has agreed to a 3-year, $45 million contract with the Sacramento Kings.
So it's not a sign and trade.
It is not.
I mean, I'm not that surprised. If you could have gotten Malik Monk for Dennis Schroeder, that would have been, like, what?
Absolutely. So let me clean up these super chats here. Dat Boy Roy, the last 5 years I spent $1,000 on a 2-hour show, not M80s. You're a smart man, Dat Boy. Better value here. Dat Boy, you said that one. AC, sorry, I've been missing in action. AC, good to see you back. I'm on
Shout out
vacay.
AC.
What up, though, from Mexico?
Hey, nice. I've never been to Mexico.
I never have either.
Nah.
I'm
not that
feeling
interested.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
I'm just not. No,
that's fine.
They're not interested in you.
Then it's a mutual option.
Yeah.
Exercised by both parties.
You can stay out of Mexico, Neil.
That's fine. I'll go to the Bahamas.
Yeah, me too. Much rather be in the Bahamas.
We'd much rather you go to the Bahamas.
Where I can use my American money on par.
Yep.
Your American money.
America.
It'd be
I'm
worth
good
more
on a
in Mexico.
cartel-controlled country. Like no thanks.
All right, when we come back, Dr. Pierce is here in the house on Tuesday. Good stuff, by the way.
Well
Four
done.
down football every single day.
Well done, Simeon.
Well done, Simeon. I like it so far.
Who's Simeon?
Well,
McJesus.
well done, McJesus.
Crypto McJesus.
Crypto McJesus. Nice job, kid.
Where are we going? The White Claw. Yes, absolutely. Spencer Raxter was out there. I was out there. D-Mac was out there at the third White Claw Tigers tour stop. They were at the Old Miami on Sunday Night Baseball. They're going to wrap this thing up July 11th. Second best.
The old stomping grounds.
The old stomping grounds. Old reliable. Second best. And again, we're out there at Spencer and Easy. They're doing it Friday, July 11th at Second Best Bar in Detroit. Be a part of the fun for the Tigers watch party on the White Claw Tigers tour. They do a live broadcast.
Just a little tidbit for anybody that wants to come join us at Second Best. We already made a pact that we're getting hammered. Like we're gonna stay. We're gonna get hammered.
It's gonna be a walk-off.
Nick literally lives like a block away, so it's gonna be a great day.
Oh my.
And they got the best food around.
Oh my. It's the White Claw Tigers tour. It's brought to you by White Claw and Ben Johnson Law as well. Don't miss it.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! The boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Twice.
28.
Neil Rule here for Planet Fitness. We're live at the Planet Fitness studios in a very, very cool... Look, you guys know why I like working out at Planet Fitness. I've been over those reasons a lot. But this is very cool. For the youngsters that are watching, they got the high school summer pass going. You guys can work out for free all summer from June 1st till August 31st. If your age is 14 to 19, you can work out for free. Just go on into your local Planet Fitness, fill out a couple of forms, and boom, you're in there. And like, look, Planet Fitness doing this for the youth. There's no high school sports going on. There's no gym classes. That's really where ages 14 to 19 get a lot of their movement in their lives. So, again, you can do this. You can keep it going. You can, if you want to start a summer fitness regimen, you want to get ready for your upcoming seasons, whether you're a football player, whatever you're doing, you can work out for free all summer at Planet Fitness. Very, very cool. Again, go to your local Planet Fitness and join up in there. Work out for free all summer long. It's Planet Fitness. Don't pay more money to lift the same weights. All right, back at it. It is Tuesday. This is the fastest Tuesday show in the history of Tuesday shows.
Might be.
It might be, man. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty.
Was it the loosest, Neil?
It was the fast and loose. Shout out.
1 o'clock. It'll be out. Check it out.
There it
is.
is.
As soon as this is over.
There it is. He's geared up today.
Oh, dude.
Chase Elliott.
Look behind. Yeah, Chase Elliott, Dale Earnhardt. What's the Matt Kenseth episode? It was all 17s. The flag was flying. We've not gotten as excited for an episode, so check it out.
Speaking of that, we're going to do a Chase. Motorsports Minute. We're bringing it back.
Shout out.
Shout out Sawyer.
Sawyer's smiling somewhere.
Somewhere he is. We're bringing it back. A 60-second clock.
Yeah.
He can say whatever he wants about motorsports, but then when it's over, you got to be quiet.
It's fair.
What day did we argue? What day did we land on with that?
I don't know. We talked about it last week on Tuesdays, but we didn't really get to a lot on today. Like, we missed RIP and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe Friday.
What's top 5 Wednesday tomorrow?
Let me tell you. Do we want to do it Thursday? Maybe. I know
top 5 American things, or
yeah, it was something American themed.
Because it's 4th of July.
Yeah.
Here, just a second. I have it pulled up. I'm looking through the list.
Okay, well, get back to me on that because we got Doc in the house.
Sorry, yeah, no.
And I got
American things. Yeah. Sorry, American
top 5 things about America.
Yep.
There it is. Okay. But now,
1, 2, and 3. Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness,
and
brother.
gentlemen, start your engines. All right. Right now, Dr. Pierce is here, our injury insider. Look what he walked into. Brought to you by the Michigan Sports and Spine Center. His visit powered by MRI of Southfield. Doc, we appreciate it. Okay, break it down. You blow your hand off with a firework. What happens after that? No, I'm just kidding, Doc. What's up, man? How are you?
A whole different energy in here today.
There's a lot going on, man.
There's a lot going on. No football season, but we got everything else going.
But it's July 1st, so it is football season now. It is football season.
Everybody's got some energy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, but Doc, again, happy to have you, as we always are. There are a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. You went to Cuba, though. You are the most world traveler that I know. Did you bring back any cigars?
Start meeting some new people.
My question, did you bring back cigars?
People in my group brought back cigars. We actually went to a cigar factory.
Okay.
The government-run cigar factory, and it was funny. There's 140 people working. They got to produce 14,000 cigars, and they're all regulated. And then capitalism is creeping in there for sure. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
There's some of those cigars that they hit their 14,000, but there's probably another 400 being made.
All right, I got you.
Registering.
I got you. So, thank you for not bringing up the geopolitics of it.
Yeah, we're not bringing up any politics, but Cuba was amazing for the potential that it has, and unbelievably sad
at the same time
on what's going on there. And they said so much potential. I compare it to Detroit after the riots, Palmer Park, all that, and we renovated. I mean, the boulevards, the street, the way the houses are made, everything you see on TV and you hear, it's real.
How about the cars?
You're in the old Chevrolet convertibles.
Yeah. I've been there. It's awesome.
It's real, and then you find out people are making $20 a month.
Oof.
Like, I kept asking, you mean a day? You mean a week? No, a month. Like, this woman who spoke perfect English, so I chatted. I'm like, how did you speak? Yeah, because I get a better job. Her mother works for the government, gets $20 a month.
Yeah, that's tough.
And she's searching to make $20 a day at her little shop. It was like, like an Eastern market type of thing. It was unbelievable. Then we bought the hats. We did a lot of the traditional stuff, but it was pretty cool. But overall, there's no reason it needs to be like that. These people are just kind of victims of
the circumstances.
Some of the circumstances run by people that don't have the right motivation. And even if they don't like America, there's still Canada there, Spain's there, Europe's there. Somebody needs to just step up. I mean, it's unbelievably beautiful. Like the Fast and Furious, where the drag race was there. I mean, it's right on the water. I mean, like it's unbelievable.
I've heard that Cuba is pretty cool. Sound kayak. Let's bring politics into the conversation.
Nope.
No, let's not. You want that? Go somewhere. I'll tell you. I don't do
That's
that.
That's right.
Yeah,
we'll do politics of how to treat between biologics and things like that.
All right, Doc. I know our time is somewhat short today. You're a busy man, world traveler.
Yeah.
Probably going to Rome or something next. I want to talk about Tarek Skubal. I had an epiphany at the game on Sunday. D-Mac and I went. Had a great time. All of it. The stadium, the town, everything was just full of electricity. And look, would it be irresponsible / will it work probably in badly? Yes. But with that being said, Doc, you're talking $400, $500 million contract for Skubal as he kind of hurtles towards free agency. And Doc, I was of the epiphany. If you don't sign this man, then why do we bother? What are we doing? Why do we bother? So that's where I go to you. this Tommy John movement in baseball to where it's almost like preferred to have it when you first start your career so you, quote, get it out of the way. Like I've heard that before. Why? Give me the science on it, Doc, because we're talking about it. He's had it already, had it when he was younger. Why is there this attitude about Tommy John?
Well, you got to understand, for a pitcher to get to the elite level, if you would count out, it would be a great statistics. How many innings are these guys pitching before they reach the professional league, right? How are they out there performing, right? It's on a young body. So that's why I keep talking, not to get it to everyday people, but you've got to realize, you're like, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing, like people that work the line, a constant rotation. You're doing constant aggressive movement. So when you talk about Tommy John at an earlier age, it's not necessarily earlier age, it's how much wear and tear you have on that elbow at the time, right? So what you're saying is that Screwball, he did all the elite things. He went to the travel teams. He played more pitches. He probably threw more pitches than most guys because, he's good, so all young coaches utilize their best guy. So he's abused there. Then he gets to the next level. Each level he keeps getting abused until he gets to the majors where he's now there's more rules, right? There's rules in minor, little league, all that. Are they followed when you have a superstar and you want to win championships and he wants to win a scholarship? So it's a wear and tear factor. It's not like everybody's going to have Tommy John. Although right now, can we do stuff? Yeah, there's exercises. There's preventative stuff. We talked about the Achilles. What's going to be the sports science behind that? You're now looking at the sports science for elbow injuries, the Tommy John prevention program. No, you still want to do it. Has he proven that having surgery? No. Once you have surgery, is it better? I think that's kind of what you're trying to get.
Yeah. Bingo, that's it. Because he had it when he was in college, which is some say that's why he went in the 9th round of the draft in 2018 because he was coming off the Tommy John.
You don't know how he's going to come back. You don't know that mental piece. Just because surgery does not make you better than human, right? The human design is always the best design. Okay, so we start there. Wear and tear. What's the wear and tear? Can we do ultrasounds? Is there sports science to predict? I think that's where we need to go. We need to look at musculoskeletal ultrasound imaging to see the thickness, what's going on, is there inflammation, what does the tendon look like? We talked last time about Achilles, which is an easier one. It's a very long tendon. Do long tendons have more risk for injury versus a short, fatter, thicker tendon? Those are all factors that go into it. And that's where sports science is really going to play a role. So can we predict, do we want to spend money on him? I think you spend money on him because of his mental commitment, right? That's more encouraging. Here he's had it, and the guy's unbelievable. He's at his peak of his career. Do we sign him early? Yeah, I think you lock the guy up before his lawyers and agents get in. But
it's a Scott Boras client, so that ain't happening.
Yeah, so he's got to look for the big dollar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he likes it here. You make life easy for him here. You do the other factors, because everybody's going to have the money. It's the other factors. It's the fans appreciating him. That's a big thing for players, right, Mac? I mean, fan appreciation.
I saw it on Sunday, going to the game with him, by the way. Yeah.
You love it. I mean, walking around having Dairy Queen and people see him, the way he's treated, the way he's respected, I think that's more important. The way we talk about him is more important. New York's a bunch of haters. You have one bad day, they're on your ass already. Whoops. Yeah. On your butt already. But I think it's, one, everybody has the money for a guy like that. 2, where's the love? 3, the Tommy John injury is not a factor at this point. Your question, let everybody have premature Tommy John surgery? No, that's not going to happen. Can we do more sports science where we evaluate them and take a look and see what the risk factors are? Yeah, I think that's something we should be looking at.
So Doc, right here, right now, say it's 450 for 10. Medically, the Tommy John stuff on Scooble and all of it back in 2017. And you don't know, I'm putting you in kind of an unfair spot. However, that being said, given your experience and what you see going on, and Shohei Ohtani's a guy that's had it twice, it's just, if it were your money that were being spent, ... What are you doing?
I am worried about more of the Cabrera thing of a 10-year contract, right? He's going to have his years. He's going to have 10 years of it? No, but if you wait 3 years, the number's only going up. It's proven. Yes, I think with he's motivated, his attitude, what he's trying to accomplish, I'd probably lock him in for that kind of money.
You don't seem concerned at all about the elbow situation then with the Tommy John.
Like we've said before, they're mature. These are mature athletes that have been through an injury. An injured athlete, either they're going to fade away or they're going to mature and excel and be better. They're going to compensate. They're going to do stuff. He's going to learn a different type of ball to throw where it's putting less stress on the elbow. He's going to be effective because he's a smart player. He's a mature, smart player that's going to make adjustments so he's not putting a lot of pressure on that elbow. He's not going to waste pitches. He's not going to throw as hard as he can. He knows how to strike out people, or he may not have to strike out people. Just throw junk so they can't get a good placement on the ball. He's just smarter. He's a more mature player that he'll learn how to get through it.
There it is, D-Mac. Doc's in.
I like it.
Oh, yeah. I missed it.
This is a special, right? When we've experienced this before, having great pitchers and stuff go. I even think this is even more important than Scherzer or Verlander to where this team is right now. And big, like you have to take this opportunity with this is the best Tigers player like we've had. He's the Miguel Cabrera of pitching.
Right. And Doc said it.
But you can't do a Barry Sanders. You can't just focus on one. You have to have, like, the coach is good, the players are good, a lot of youth. There's things being seen, the way the Lions built. You've got to have the right management to see and to build around it. I mean, OKC's a great example. You have to have compliments to it. So it's not all the pressure's on him. You have this short mid.
Doc, before we get out of here, we have a question from the audience. So it's serious, right? And it's going to be a legit question.
No.
Danny G, Doc, should I give my infant Tommy John surgery? Right now, I want him to be the next Scooble. What would it look like, Doc?
The infant? I would start working on both coordination of both hands and have him speak more than one language. I go back to the Agassi days. Agassi, if we know the story about Agassi, he had the modal above him that were always tennis balls, and he was supposed to be hitting them with both hands and hand-eye coordination. I would do that, and I'd have him fully lengthen and strengthen, and have him do baby curls with the bottle.
Doc, we appreciate you.
Work on the coordination first.
We appreciate you pulling up, my friend.
Thanks, Doc.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Ride it out.
Yeah, let me tell them about Mad Packs. D-Mac, you can tell them about Massage Chair, and then we'll get out of here. But first, Mad Packs. They are in stores everywhere, so make sure you get a hold of some. It is just great stuff. They've got the infused tarantulas. They've got the high-low pre-rolls. They've got everything you need. It's awesome. They've got just cherry runs. If you just want just some regular smoke, they've got that too. And they're going to be in a lot more stores coming up very soon. Go to getmadpacks.com to find one near you today. It's Mad Packs. D-Mac, tell us about the massage chair.
Absolutely. Looking to upgrade your relaxation game? Check out Massage Chair House. Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest with the top brands for massage chairs like Infinity and Osaki. Located near the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. Book a visit at www.massagechairhouse.com or scan the QR code Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Before we ride out, Danny G. Wait, this isn't Woodward Politics? I think Woodward Politics would work. However, I'm going to need a lot more years and a lot more money on that contract, because once you do that, it's over.
It's over. Ain't no coming back.
There ain't no coming back from it. All right, but there is coming back tomorrow for us on Wednesday. We'll be back at it. For D-Mac, Chase, Dr. Pierce, Simeon, Spencer Raxter. Well, see you later.